Hello and welcome to the Isle of Skye. I'm with me Julie and Martin and we're doing some more sightseeing. They're taking the mickey out of me because I've already done all this bit in a 2-minute segment without pressing record. It's now pressed. Now, they brought me to a larder. Doesn't sound very exciting, does it? But just bear with me, bear with me. Down here is one end of the larder. Okay. They stood at the entrance to the larder. It's where they would probably store cream and dairy products. They're not 100% sure on that, but they think it's because it's underground, it keeps things cool, they think it's for storing dairy products. Now, how old is it, I hear you ask? That might give you a clue. Roundhouse. There was a roundhouse right here. Yes, we're going back. We're going way back. Generations and thousands of years to about the same time, either 30 years before or 30 years after, or bang on exactly the same time as Jesus Christ was born in Bethlehem. Yes. Whilst he was doing that, they were burying dairy products in here. So one thing they would store in here is barrels of butter. Here, they actually found one, not here, but Kilvaxter, Skye, it's still on Skye, probably within 20 miles they found this, and it is a barrel of butter. There's a picture for you. Now, not how you imagine a barrel to be, like a proper big barrel of butter. These were 6 inches across, just tiny little wooden barrels full of butter, and they'd store them in here. Now, I believe there's a caveman in here. He's in the wrong era, because this is later than the cavemen, by quite a long time. Let's go and have a look inside. So this would have been like a farm, and this, they've got an iron gate on here now. Julie, you're stood behind me, I don't know if you knew this, but this would have probably been made like a thatched straw doorway to start with, to stop all the livestock getting in and eating the butter. What do you think of that?
Yes, I could well have just told you that.
Yeah, alright. Let me take the credit, it's my video. Right, let's go in, take a look inside at the butter hole. Right, this is a joke, I wasn't expecting this. It's about 3 foot tall. Cavemen can just fit in. Oh, they didn't store anything in here. Come on, they'd make it the height of a man.
We've got shelves.
Oh, is that a shelf?
Yeah, it's a shelf.
Right, that's a shelf where they probably put loaves, did you say?
Yeah, the milk and stuff.
Milk and loaves.
And yogurts and stuff.
Yogurts. Cheesy strings. Dairy triangles. Things like that in here. You know, your posh, proper stuff. And your barrels down there, I guess. Does it stop there?
It gets down and turns where the light is.
Is it flooded, did you say?
It's flooded, yeah.
Oh, here. Is that water?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going down there then.
They've left wellies.
Oh, they've left wellies. That's nice.
If you've got really wee feet.
So it's flooded, but yeah, they'd keep bog barrels of butter down there. In Jesus times. Yes, guys, don't put in the comments, I can see orbs. There's no orbs, it's just a piece of dust. I just want to say at this stage, we were just about to go to Kilvaxter graveyard because there's a woman there called Flora MacDonald. She's buried there, and she was the one who helped Bonnie Prince Charlie escape dressed as a woman in the big battle further north. And she's buried there, and apparently she's buried in a bedsheet which Bonnie Prince Charlie wore on his bed. One slight problem, and we're very annoyed about it, aren't we?
Yes!
Kilvaxter, we're on the Isle of Skye. There's 2 villages on one small island called Kilvaxter. The other one's miles and miles away. So we went to the wrong Kilvaxter. So we're ditching that idea. I'll show you a picture of the statue for Miss Flora MacDonald, and that's all you're getting. But Isle of Skye, we're not happy with you at all. 2 places called Kilvaxter. That's ridiculous. So we're taking you somewhere else, and we have no idea what it is. Now, I've brought you to Ferry Bridge. Ferry Bridge. Some nice tales associated with this one. Well, not all nice. The first one, for example, 3 people have been murdered on this bridge at different times. It's very, very wet and windy, by the way, guys. You're going to have to bear with me. In fact, I'll just take a bit of shelter down there. Hang on. Okay, that's a bit better. So this is Ferry Bridge. Travellers are supposedly scared to cross the bridge. It's called Ferry Bridge for a reason. The head of the MacLeod clan, Mr. MacLeod, married a fairy who we met here at the bridge. This is where lots of fairies hang out. The girls, you know, not ladies of the night, not that kind of fairy. They were more like just travelling fairies who were single, you know, looking out for clan leaders and things who they could marry. So Mr. MacLeod found this fairy and they got married and they had a baby. Everything was going fantastic until the fairy, she got a letter from Fairyland saying, "I'm sorry, you've been up there with the human beings for far too long. You need to come home and live in Fairyland." Well, the fairy, she was absolutely gutted. But she understood she had a duty and she had to go back to Fairyland. So what she did, she said to Mr. MacLeod, "I'm really sorry, my darling husband. I have to leave. I have to go back to Fairyland." But, so she has the baby in her arms. And she takes the shawl off the baby and gives it to him. And says, "Use this as a flag. This is the fairy flag. Every time you wave it, it's going to save you from harm." The fascinating thing about this story, which you might think is probably not true, the fairy flag does exist. There is a fairy flag, and it is, I believe, in a castle a bit further on, which we're not going into because it's very expensive to get in, but we will be passing it and I'm sure we'll take some pictures. But there is a fairy flag, and it is said to date from, I think, about the year 600, 700, a very old piece of material called the fairy flag. So apparently travellers were scared to cross this bridge. Now, we're not sure if that's because they were scared of the evil of the murders which took place here, the poor people who died, the 3 murders, the haunted spirits of them, or just an evil feeling as you're passing it. Or whether it's the fairies as you're coming past. People are scared off by the flying fairies. They don't know what to make of them. Either way, they were that scared of travellers coming over here, they've blocked it off. They blocked the bridge off with stones to stop travellers coming across. I am a traveller. I am coming across. I am not scared of fairies. I think they're probably quite easy to get on with. And if I find a single fairy, I'd consider marrying one. Especially if I could just enjoy her for like a year and then she goes away. Yeah, that'd do me. Back to Fairyland. And I do feel sorry for the 3 guys who died here, but I'm not scared of evil presences and things like that because I'm a professional ghost hunter as well as treasure hunter and historian and general everythingian. Right, that's Ferry Bridge. Let's move on. Right guys, here we are at Trupan. Trupan, a massive massacre happened here. A very sad one. Families feuding, 2 clans feuding. It all started from something which happened in a place called Eig, spelt E-I-G, in 1577. The clan of the MacLeods massacred 395 MacDonalds. All the MacDonalds were in a cave in Eig, spelt E-I-G, and it's a place just over there somewhere, just over there I believe. They were in a cave and the MacLeods came along and they blocked the entrance, set it on fire, and all the MacDonalds inside suffocated. They all died. So in revenge, the MacDonalds came here. This is where the MacLeods went to church. So here we are inside the church. So you can imagine dozens, if not over 100 MacLeods in here on a Sunday service. It was the 1st of May. They were all in here. The McDonald's came over by boat, landed down there, came up here and set fire to the place, trying to kill everybody inside. Apart from one woman who managed to escape through that hole there. She escaped through there and she ran to the castle, the MacLeod Castle, which is just a few miles away, 2 miles away. She ran up there and she says, hey, they're burning his church down, they're killing everybody. So a big gang of the clan, all the MacLeods came running down here to get the McDonald's. They chased the McDonald's back down towards the sea and they managed to catch them. Not only did they catch them, they killed every single one of them, put them underneath a big wall and pushed the wall down on top of them, killing every one of them. All because of one clan having a go at another clan and that clan trying to take revenge. All them people died right here about 300-400 years ago. Again, a true story. It's quite sad to think that would have happened. It's a beautiful little church. Something I do find quite odd is there's a couple of gravestones in here from McDonald's. Now, I don't know, the McDonald's burnt this place down and killed everybody. I would have thought there'd be like a written rule, no McDonald's are ever allowed back in this church. I'd have thought that's a reasonable thing to request, but there's people buried here by the name of McDonald. The interesting thing about this grave, which is right outside the door to the church, is it's a lady called Rachel who died, and she died in 1745. That's the year of the Jacobite uprising, when it was all kicking off. I wonder if she died as a result of that all that fighting back then. I don't know, am I sick going around churches and graveyards and talking about massacres all the time? There must be something slightly wrong with me. So behind me here is Dunvegan Castle. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. This, guys, this is the viewing point of the castle for people who haven't got much money, because they charge you £13 to get in there. £13 and you're not allowed to video. What a rip-off. But the reason I wanted to come here, and something else which is very annoying, they've got trees all the way around so you can't get a picture of it unless you come right over here, and we must be half a mile away from it. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, I wanted to mention that castle because it is like the most famous landmark on the island. It is where the MacLeods hung out. If you remember me telling you about the ran to the MacLeods, and the MacLeods went back to that church and got the McDonald's and killed them all, that's where they came from. But in there also is the fairy flag. I'll show you a picture of the good old fairy flag, which the MacLeods apparently waved in the air when they went to the church and reclaimed the church from the McDonald's when they set fire to it. It's supposed to be very picturesque, but honestly, in this weather, I'm getting really wet. I absolutely detest that castle because they charge so much. So yeah, not happy. But if you ain't got any money, if you're common, if you're poor, you're really rough, you don't have a job, they're all them kind of people, come here. There's me Julie and Martin in the car. So that was the Isle of Skye. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow on Digging the Coast 3, 6, 5. And donate, please.